All right, cool. So the next one we're gonna do is gonna be another common position that you're gonna experience in jiu-jitsu, right? Especially standing up, especially at a lower belt or even higher belts. And we have like mirrored grips, right? So for smaller people, wrestling is usually a little bit more different. You have like guard pulling and certain types of exchanges. As you get higher into the belt ranks, there's more commonality of grips, right? So a commonality of certain grips, we have mirrored grips. So I'm grabbing his collar, he's grabbing mine. I'm holding his elbow and he's probably holding mine, right? Now, what's important is that I see this all the time, Dennis sees it all the time too, right? If Dennis has this grip and I'm trying to shoot on him, he's gonna use that grip to keep me away. And the reason for that is because his arm is very strong here, okay? So one, I always tell my lower belts, if you're gonna shoot when he has this grip, if you have any success, it's not because you're doing something well, it's because he's making a mistake. He's controlling the distance here. I'm doing the same on him, right? So what we need to do when we have this grip and we're here is I need to pull him forward, but I also need to roll out his elbow, okay? What I need to do is expose that space. And now that I'm pulling him forward, instead of trying to drive through his arm, I lower my level, and what I'm doing is basically going underneath of his arm. So when I'm here in this position, I'm trying to pull and I pull him forward. As I pull him forward, I can open up and go underneath. Now what I'm doing is removing that distance control arm, being able to stay in front of me and pushing, to changing that angle, so now I'm gonna be able to go underneath, okay? So again, what we can't do is just stand here and just try to open him up. I'm pushing, moving him around. As I pull him forward, I'm gonna open him up. I lower my level, I go into that pocket. Now we're gonna be in a similar situation we did with our first technique where we're looking for that double leg so we don't wanna land in the guard, right? So it's important that you understand two things. If you put your knees down, okay, notice naturally that Dennis is gonna have a lot of control here. You have to have really strong posture, okay? I'm really short here, so I would not put both knees on the mat. At a minimum, I would possibly put one. Whatever you want to do is up to you, but I would stay on my feet here, okay? Both of my hands come off, they're gonna come to the legs. It's important now that I keep Dennis's shoulders not going too much in front of his hips so he starts sprawling on me. So I have to make sure that my posture is strong here, okay? The lower that I am, the more I try to fold Dennis, the more I'll have to rely on trying to pick him up, and the heavier his hips are gonna be. So it's important that I keep my posture strong. And again, all we need to do to finish this is understand that his legs need to go to the left, to the opposite side that my head direction is going. So it's really important that once I'm here and I have strong posture, I'm looking to pull my hands across as I finish my double leg takedown to go into the side control position again, okay? Mirrored grips, okay? You can't just shoot through it, he's gonna be there. So I'm pushing, pulling. When he moves forward, I'm gonna open him up, go underneath. Look at my posture, okay? It's really important. If I put both those knees down and I'm here, Dennis is definitely gonna sprawl, move around. It's gonna be really hard to defend in the position now that I was offensive in. So I'm in this position here, okay, strong hips. My hips are underneath my shoulders. I'm looking up. I'm trying to put all of my energy going up on an angle. And from there now I'm collapsing the knees, pulling them across as I drive and finish again, okay? Super simple. The most important aspect is not rushing, just trying to get to his hips, because that's not gonna be enough. It's gonna be the position that we're in once we get there, okay? Mirrored grips again. Try to pull him in. As you pull him in, you're gonna be opening him up and driving underneath and up underneath that spot of his arm, so you're not worried about the distance control. Inside on the knees, we're gonna be looking to drive across to finish, and we go to side control, okay? So remember, in terms of the first technique that we did and the second one, we're talking about commonalities and grips. I'm not gonna just be able to grab Dennis's sleeve. It's not gonna happen. More than likely, he's gonna grab my collar and I have to break it, okay? If I can only get a collar and I don't have a sleeve, it's gonna be a little bit harder to do things, right? The second one we're talking about is that if we both get collar grips, now we both have control. If I try to shoot on him, he's gonna stop me. I can do the same thing to him. I have to expose this elbow. You can't just go through it. So we were using that motion of pushing, pulling, and as he steps in, opening him up to go underneath. It's really important that you see me changing the access point of my head going underneath his elbow. When you do that then and understand the positioning and the posture that you have to use your posture to attack the double leg. Doing that will allow you to finish. And again, once we're doing that, we're landing in side control, so we don't have to worry about passing. But that should help you connect some dots in terms of standing up. And it also is, in terms of fundamental positioning, it's gonna be really common grips that you guys are both gonna have. So keep those both in mind and they should help you out.